So there's a dilemma, and it's probably only for me or people who are in this niche field, but we have the iPhone. And for as long as I can remember, I had an iPhone, and then because I wanted something that was slightly larger, I got the iPad mini. And so my daily drivers became the iPhone. This is the iPhone Air, so not this iPhone at the time, but an iPhone and an iPad mini. I would put this in my pocket. I would have it in my bag. It would be something I would grab quickly to look at Google Maps, check an email. It was just something that was slightly larger, more comfortable versus looking at an iPhone screen. And then something amazing came along, and that was the Google Pixel Fold. Now, this is the original Google Pixel, and in my personal opinion, the best form factor. This passport sized, chunky design is very easy to hold. It is very easy to throw in a bag. Is it heavy? Yes. But my iPad, which was compact but large, then became even more compact because it could not only be about the same size as an iPad, but it could fold. And now we have an even more compact way to travel. So then this became obsolete. And then something else came along, and that was the Google Pixel 9, which I did not get. Actually, I did get it, and I had it for about a couple of days, and I returned it because it was taller, the front screen was very narrow, and it was still heavy. And I found myself wanting to go back, so I returned the 9 and I just stuck with my Google Pixel Fold. And then this year, we had this beauty come along, which is the Galaxy Z Fold 7. And at this time, all of you have seen this phone, and I am still amazed at how incredibly thin the design is. And when you think about going from this to this, it just blows my mind how now we can actually hold tablets in our pockets. And so it became a balance of which three or which two do I go with? Um, I do not personally like the Z Fold's cover screen. I find this to be a bit cramped. I find myself more so opening it up to use the main display. And I've also found myself going back and forth between putting my SIM card here and my SIM card here. Very wobbly, but because of how thin it is, I've stuck with it and I've kept it. But I am more of a Pixel Android user. So I do find that when I'm at the Z Fold, when I have this for a couple of days, I do enjoy going back to the Google Pixel Fold. And then something else happened. Along came the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold. And I've been waiting for this particular design because, as mentioned with the Pro 9 Fold, it was very narrow. The only thing that saves the Z Fold is the fact that it's so thin and it just feels so futuristic. And again, it's incredible to hold. But I do prefer the Google software experience. When you compare the two, you can definitely feel that the Fold 10 is a bit more chunkier compared to the Z Fold. Also, the screen is more of a square, no matter which way you sort of turn it. Between the three of these, here's the dilemma. This is my overall favorite and probably will be until something similar comes along. Again, this passport design, I really wish they would have stuck with this. They have not, so we are moving forward, but it seems like this is, compared to the 9, the next best thing, or jump forward or leap forward for Google, in my personal opinion. If this was slightly shorter, I think that we would have had a winner. If this was slightly lighter, again, we're thinking this was 3 years ago, here we are in 2025. Samsung is winning when it comes to just the leading edge in technology. For a phone to be this thin and be a full foldable. And we know that Google's being Google. They're not really trying to compete with anyone because if you have a Google phone, if you have a Pixel, you're in it for the software experience. When it comes to design, they have made an improvement, but again, There is something that is noticeably missing in comparison to the Z Fold 7. I have everything that I need here. I'm about probably 4 years out of not receiving updates. But I don't feel that not having this will make me miss anything. If it's for the Pixel software, I would rather have a chunky phone that is the original Fold versus a chunky phone that is slightly larger when I could have the same size phone essentially that is lighter. What are your thoughts? Tell me what you think in the comments. Where are we headed with Google? If it were you, which design are you most in love with? Which foldable that you find has become your more daily driver? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'll see you next time.